everyone, I'm Tamaki. Today, I will be talking about the topic if you're going to start a vacation rental business in Japan. Now is the time. Actually, some of my Australian friend or American friend, they are buying property in Japan and they operate Airbnb style we call minpaku. Because as you know, there are a lot of foreigners visiting in Japan, including domestic travel. We are facing a lack of accommodation. That's why we will talk about the vacation rental business today. What you will learn today, the basic concept and the mechanism of vacation rentals in Japan, the potential of vacation rental business in Japan, and key point benefit for foreigners starting a vacation rental, an overview of the legal regulations, including the private lodging business law. And the final one is important point to remember, such as 180 days rule. Let's start. So, what is minpaku vacation rental in Japan? While minpaku has no strictly defined legal meaning, it generally refers to renting out all or part of a private residence, such as a house or apartment, to travelers for a fee over a short period. In the past, it might have been done for free as a form of volunteer hospitality, but with the rise of the internet and services like Airbnb, it has become common to charge guests for their stay. Vacation rentals are said to be appealing because they feel more personal than hotels. Travelers can live like a local and often share living rooms or kitchens with hosts or other guests, providing a great opportunity to interact and experience Japanese daily life and culture firsthand. Next, let's look at why running a vacation rental in Japan is attracting so much attention. There are three main keys. The first one is increase in foreign tourism, tourists visiting Japan. From 2023 onward, pandemic-related travel restrictions have eased, and the yen has tended to be very weak against other currencies. So many overseas travelers are coming to Japan. More and more visitors are going beyond Tokyo and Osaka to places like Hokkaido and Kyushu, causing a rise in accommodation demand nationwide. The second, nationwide shortage of accommodation. While tourism demand dropped temporarily during the pandemic, it has gradually been recovering, as hotels in major cities sometimes limited operation. There is a serious shortage of available rooms. Vacation rentals have gained attention as a way to help travelers. The next one is increasing number of vacant homes due to demographic changes. We are facing aging population and declining birth rate. In that cases, regions have many vacant properties. These empty homes, if left unattended, can lose value and pose security problems. By renovating vacant properties for use as vacation rentals, local communities can be revitalized and property value preserved. In other words, Japan's vacation rental market is currently in a prime position because of these overdropping factors, rising demand, inadequate supply, and the vacant home problem. Actually, some of my Australian friend or some American friend has purchased very reasonable vacant home and they renovated. Then they started to minpaku called Airbnb. And this is great for the local community because local community make more attraction for foreigners and also the owner of the properties. They can make some income and when they visit in Japan, they can stay. So we make win-win situation. So the next one, we will talk about can foreigners start a vacation rental business in Japan? The answer is yes. Foreigners can start a vacation rental business in Japan. However, there are few conditions you must meet. If you want to run a company in Japan as a foreigner, you first need to pay attention to your residence status visa. If you do not have a residence qualification, such as a permanent residence or spouse of the Japan's national, you must obtain a business manager visa. The main condition for a business manager visa are you must have a physical business office in Japan, and you must have capital investment at least 5 million Japanese yen, about US dollars 33,000, or employ at least 2 full-time staff who are Japanese nationals or permanent residents. And then your business must demonstrate stability and continuously, and you must have the skills and knowledge to manage it. If you meet these conditions, you can set up a company in Japan through roughly the same process as a Japanese national. But if you are engaged in management activities without meeting these requirements, you risk being deemed in violation of immigration law. Therefore, preparing slowly and filling the correct visa application before beginning actual business operation in Japan is crucial. You also need to notify the local government to run the vacation rental, as long as appropriate procedures are followed. Foreigners can legally operate vacation rental in Japan. However, note that certain nationwide may face specific investment or land usage regulation. So, consult an expert in advance if necessary. Next one, we will talk about benefit for foreigners starting a vacation rental business. What are the advantages of starting a vacation rental business in Japan as a foreigner? There are 5 potential benefits. The first one is utilizing your international background. If you are hosting foreign travelers and can communicate in English or other language, that's a major plus. Second one, you can introduce Japanese properties and local areas from a visitor's point of view, which is a strong selling point. The third one, differentiation through cultural fusion. By blending Japanese culture with your own, you can offer a unique kind of hospitality that other properties don't have. You might serve international cuisine or create a shared lounge that has a global feel. These touches can set you apart from the competition. The next one is access to global marketing channels. Platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com are used worldwide and offer multilingual support, so you can easily attract guests from abroad. Next one is contributing to local communities, operating a vacation rental in an area that needs solutions for vacant properties or is looking to boost tourism also helps the local economy. By promoting the local charm through your unique lens as a foreigner, you might even create a new form to tourism. Relatively easy to start small. Compared to operating a new hotel, a vacation rental can involve a smaller initial investment, depending on the size of property. You can run a short test period and gradually expand once you gain experiences. The next one, we will talk about legal framework you need to know for vacation rental in Japan. The most important things to remember when starting a vacation rental is to understand Japanese law thoroughly. In practice, you need to decide which of the following 3 legal frameworks appealing to your business. The first one, obtain a hotel business license. If you operate as a budget hotel, you need a permission from the local health center. You must meet requirements regarding the number of rooms, facilities, etc. But there is no limit on the number of days you can operate each year. Next one is obtain approval through the National Strategic Special Zones Act. If your property is in a designed special zone, you may be able to operate vacation rental under the more flexible regulation. It's worth checking if your property is positioned to use located in one of these special zones. The next one is file a notification under the Private Lodging Business Act. If you are running a typical vacation rental, you usually file under the Private Lodging Business Act. However, it limits the annual number of operating days to 180. So keep that in mind. Some municipalities enforce stricter rules of their own. So be sure to check local regulations before filling. The next one, we will talk about what is the 180 days rules and how to deal with it. A common concern is 100 days rules, which limited operating days to 180 days per year. Specifically, this is counted from April 1st to the following year. So you need to be mindful your check-in and check-out times. On the other hand, some people handle this by renting their property as a share house for part of the year, then running it as a vacation rental during peak seasons. Others switch it to monthly rentals during peak off seasons. Of course, you must get owner's consent beforehand and follow all legal procedures. We will show one example, popular called two-bedroom property on Minpaku. So this is a two-bedroom properties near Kyoto Station, extremely popular for foreigners. And this is the small two-bedroom apartment. However, one night is average season is per night $390. It's quite high of the staying that kind of the rooms. And the Kyoto is the lack of the accommodation. So even though small apartment, you can earn per night around $400. And even though peak season, like cherry blossom time in April, it get more. So today's summary is, what do you think of minpaku Airbnb business in Japan? Vacation rental in Japan are expected to address various social issues, such as vacant home and the shortage of accommodations, while benefiting from the growing number of tourists from abroad. Even if you are not a Japanese citizen, as long as you have the property residence status and follow the legal process, you can definitely seize these business opportunities. Of course, there are many details to consider, such as the 180 days annual limit and region-specific rules. First, clearly which legal framework you will use. Then, prepare carefully to file notification or obtain permit from your local council. If you are not sure whether you need a hotel business license or private lodging business act notification, or if you're confused about the visa process, please contact us. We will do our best to support so that your business idea can succeed in Japan. The Airbnb is very popular, actually not in Japan, globally. And the differences of other countries is Japan's property is very reasonable compared to other, nation. Especially the countryside, sometimes you get the houses from the council. On the other hand, this is my experience. I live in Australia. Australian property is very expensive. So even though we wanna do Airbnb, but the price range is expensive, so not many people can do Airbnb because foreigner cannot buy the second-hand property in Australia. However, in Japan, you can have second-hand properties very reasonable price. That's why I strongly recommend from my experience. Thank you for watching, and until the end, I hope today's information is very helpful for you. Hope see you next video. Thank you for watching.